I don't have a phone. It got destroyed, actually. I lost it today and got run over.
Allison Havemann-Niedrach said her phone was run over when the cops came looking for her after a teenage boy claimed they'd had sex and there were videos.
You want to move away from the house to speak to?
I don't feel comfortable talking about my attorney present.
Now the former teacher is making a shocking admission. I'll explain. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Allison Havemann-Niedrach, she's gone from special ed teacher to admitted sexual predator. This week, Havemann-Niedrach walked into a courtroom in Monmouth County, New Jersey, and agreed to plead guilty to a felony charge that could send her to prison for more than a decade. Now, I've told you about this case before, but it's been a while. So let's go back to the beginning before we dig into the details of the plea agreement. In January 2024, Havemann-Niedrach was a teacher at Freehold Intermediate School, and it was at that time that police and prosecutors in New Jersey say the mother and teacher started a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old boy. The inappropriate relationship lasted for 6 months. School officials reported what they knew to police, who went to her home to arrest her.
Good evening.
Yes.
Detective Hernandez, Freehold Borough Police Department. Is Allison home?
Yes.
May I speak with her, please? Now we'll talk to her out here. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle. How you doing?
Hi.
Detective Hernandez, Freehold Borough Police Department. Detective Correa, Detective Hobbs. You know why we're here? No? Any idea? You want to move away from the house to
I don't
speak
feel
to?
comfortable talking about my attorney present.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
We have a warrant for your arrest, so we're gonna take you in. Is there anything on you that you want to leave with your family?
No, my glasses come with me. Do I have medication that I need to bring with me?
If you take medication, I will highly suggest for you to have someone get it for you. Okay, just give me a second.
I don't have a phone. It got destroyed, actually. I lost it today and got run over.
Allison Havemann-Niedrach's phone is going to be very, very important in this case. So let's go back to the video and listen to her talk about that phone again.
Destroyed, actually. I lost it today and got run over.
Okay. Just have them bring the medicine.
Okay.
Here, I gotta put you under cuffs, though.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Joints are very fragile.
I'm not gonna hurt you in any shape or form. This is gonna go on gently. Right? Mm-hmm. Still good?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay?
Okay.
Give me a second.
My husband's here with my kids.
Okay. Thank you. And I see your parents there.
Yeah, my parents are here. They're fine. My kids are safe.
All right. Do me a favor. Go like this.
I do have a lot of medical issues. I'm sorry.
Okay. No problem.
So Havemann-Niedrach said that her phone just happened to get run over on the very day that the cops came looking for her. Seems a little coincidental, doesn't it? Havemann-Niedrach's phone was really important because prosecutors would later say there were more than 25,000 sexually explicit texts between the teacher and the victim. And prosecutors have also said that detectives found videos of Havemann-Niedrach and that 8th grade boy having sex, and that Havemann-Niedrach was the one who recorded them. A grand jury later indicted Havemann-Niedrach on 7 counts, including aggravated sexual assault in the 2nd degree, 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, and she's also accused of endangering a child by manufacturing and possessing child pornography. That was one of the allegations. Now, that's a long, long list of charges. Havemann-Niedrach, she was in a lot of trouble, legally speaking.
Yeah.
My husband can get it.
Yeah.
Can you let her know?
Can you get my antibiotics and my on the counter?
Keep them in the same container.
They're the same pills though.
Oh, the same pills.
Because like
Okay.
one was just running empty, so I just want to like.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Perfect.
Sorry, my mom had strokes recently.
Okay. No problem.
I'm my parents' caretaker.
Okay.
Where is she going now?
She's gonna come back to the Freehold Borough Police.
She's going to her police station in Freehold. Yes. You know their numbers?
Our parents?
Yeah.
Everything? Yeah.
Okay.
And they have my attorney's number now.
Okay,
Should I
yeah.
keep that with me as well, or?
If you don't know
I
by
don't know
heart,
it. I don't know my attorney's phone number.
yeah, I would highly recommend for you to get it, because that way you
I
have
have a
that
piece
piece of
of-
paper.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Where's it at? Where's the paper?
It's, if you want my husband to get it, he knows where it is.
Yeah, just tell them what to get. Go ahead, sir. No, you can come out, sir.
Let's get real. Credit card debt isn't an accident. Every call, every fee, every high interest trap, it's a system designed to keep Americans stuck. Banks profit, creditors win, and real families lose. But today's sponsor, PDS Debt, helps people fight back. Whether it's credit cards, personal loans, or medical bills, PDS Debt has customized options to help you pay off debt faster. No minimum credit score required. Plus, they are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. The system makes it so that one emergency and boom, you fall behind and feel like you are absolutely drowning, which is why I want you all to find solutions to your debt. It's your money. It's your future. Do not let the system decide for you. You are just 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/crimefix. That's pdsdebt.com/crimefix. Again, pdsdebt.com/crimefix. After the issue of the medication is sorted out, Havemann-Niedrach asked her husband again to get her attorney's phone number as her mother stood by.
Yeah.
Allison, where's the red paper?
Look at the cabinet where you just got the meds. There's 2 white pieces of paper with red crayon writing. Look straight ahead. Taped.
Al?
Nope,
Get my oxygen, please.
not that. I know.
You
him on-
okay?
No.
Are you
no,
okay?
She's on full-time
Well,
oxygen.
I wasn't dead. I'm on oxygen all night long.
I bet
Okay.
take her for-
Okay.
she touched her.
Are you do you need
Yeah.
medical attention?
No.
No,
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this it?
Yes, that's right. That's my pastor and my.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want to
That's
take? Okay. And you know the numbers if you
My
need to call
parents
them?
and my husband, yes.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so we're going to get going, okay? Like I said, we're going to process her. We don't make the decision because of bail reform. We'll
You want to call her?
text the Hernandez batch 101,
Let her know.
and you guys can,
Yeah, we saw
So
it.
she's going to Freehold. Wait a minute. What?
I didn't need to write down his number. I know his number. But.
Thank you. So
Eric,
she's.
she'll call you later, okay, Eric?
yeah, we'll let her make a call or two before, once we know what's happening.
Okay.
Okay?
She gonna get to call the attorney?
She's going to have every right to do what she needs to do. We
Well,
don't.
can you answer that question?
Sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. She's going to have every right to, like, call. We'll allow people to make calls. If she chooses to call her attorney, by all means. She chooses to call you guys, by all means. It's a very nice and civil process that we're doing with her.
But it would be with your phone. She doesn't have her own phone.
There's a phone that we provide at the headquarters for people to make calls. We don't, she's going to have every ability to make calls, and that's as needed. If they decide to put her in the county, then we have to, that will be something that we have to process.
The detectives drove Havemann-Niedrach to the police station back in June of 2024, where she would be processed.
All right. Just step out, please. It's a little tight because the door won't go any further, but just come this way. Thank you. And that way. Straight forward. And to that right, and that door. Let me get the warrant.
At a hearing in July of 2024, Jersey Shore Online reported that a prosecutor said other teachers had seen Havemann-Niedrach rubbing the victim's neck and back and flirting with him and noticed her touching his leg. A vice principal reported concerns to police at the beginning of June of 2024, and that's how the investigation started. Police then contacted the boy's mother, who was also concerned because her daughter had seen her brother sitting in Havemann-Niedrach's car, and he was on the phone late at night. The victim had also told a friend that he was dating a teacher. Now, the boy denied anything was going on with Havemann-Niedrach and claimed he was dating her daughter, according to the Asbury Park Press, while a prosecutor told the judge that it was clear that Havemann-Niedrach was obsessed with this boy. Now, more than a year and a half after her arrest, Allison Havemann-Niedrach, she's pleaded guilty to 1 count of first-degree aggravated sexual assault. Prosecutors will dismiss the other charges. She admitted in court that she had sex with the boy at a hotel, in her car, and at her home. So let's bring in Sherry Botwin. She is a trauma therapist, also the author of a book entitled Stolen Childhoods, Thriving After Abuse. Sherry, thanks for coming back on. This case, these teacher cases, there's always a huge ick factor, major ick factor here. They're saying 25,000 sexually explicit text messages exchanged between the teacher and this student. And now we have a guilty plea. Your thoughts, your reaction, first of all, to the guilty plea to the aggravated sexual assault charge, and then the prosecutor agreeing to dismiss the rest of the charges.
Well, I'm imagining the guilty plea comes from there's a lot of evidence in a case like that. When there's proof of really inappropriate interactions, I can imagine that her attorneys must have said something to her along the lines of, we can try and fight this, but there's a lot of evidence here that doesn't look good for you. So it's a terrible story. It's a terrible case, but I'm glad that at least for the victim and his family, they don't have to go to trial, because it would be awful.
And it would be awful. The victim, according to the reporting in this case, there's a very thorough recap of the hearing on JerseyShoreOnline.com. The victim apparently is really struggling here. This boy, I say it all the time. There's this kind of stereotype out there, or this misnomer that, oh, where was she when I was in high school? But this really does have a negative impact on boys, girls too. But when it comes to teenage boys, there's just this ridiculous thing out there, that this doesn't harm them, but it does. So talk to me about that, about how this will have an impact on this child for years to come.
I mean, these type of cases, I've worked with so many men who were abused as teenagers, and they're in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they're still battling with symptoms of PTSD. Being a teenage boy and having such a violation of trust by a female teacher, what it does, it's not that different when you're a female, but what it does is it means that this young boy is going to really struggle with trying to figure out, how do I trust women? How am I supposed to trust adults who are females? And it goes into relationships, whether it's relationships with his mom, or if he has a doctor that's a female, or other teachers. It doesn't surprise me at all that he's struggling. And what I would say to you is, this is a story that made the news and we're talking about it, but any young boy in that situation who's abused in such a horrific way would be struggling. This is what happens, and this is why we need to talk more about these stories, because when a teacher abuses a teenage boy, the confusion, the betrayal, the self-worth, the body image of that young boy, he's going to be dealing with the aftermath, is how I would describe it, for years to come.
And I would assume feelings of shame come with that, that he may have done something wrong, or that he may have brought this on.
That's one of the worst parts. When I talk with men who were abused as boys by females, they say that to me all the time. I should have been able to stop it. Wait, maybe I brought it on somehow, but what if I enjoyed aspects of it? That's part of why it's so confusing, because we have to remember, teenage boys, they're going through puberty. They're going through all kinds of transitions. They have their hormones. They may find some of their female teachers attractive, but that doesn't mean that in a situation where a teacher abuses a teenage boy like that, that would have nothing to do with the teenager. And I think being a boy and coming forward saying a woman abused him, I hear things like, but she was a woman, I should have been able to fight her off. But that's not how it works when you're a teenager and you're dealing with authority figures, a teacher who's grading you, a teacher that you see every day. You can develop a lot of fond, caring feelings for that woman, and then not even understand when the boundaries start to get blurry. It's not like one day a teacher just abuses a boy. There's a whole process of grooming that precedes the actual abuse.
Let's talk now about the sexually explicit text messages. There are apparently videos that Allison Havemann-Niedrach recorded of the two of them having sex. The prosecutors had said in the past that she recorded these videos. There are text messages, and then the cops go to pick her up, and on the body camera, she's like, "Oh wait, I don't have my phone. It just happened to get run over by a car today." How convenient. So, the digital evidence here had to be incredibly overwhelming. The prosecutor had at one point said that this teacher was obsessed with this boy. It's mind-boggling.
It's so sickening, and I think again the world that we live in, once somebody puts something on their phone, even if her phone got run over, you don't know where all those videos went before her phone allegedly got run over by a car. And I think this is the other thing for this young boy. He has to worry about where are all those videos and what's going to happen if they're in the prosecutor's office and that's part of the evidence. He has to think about, but what if one of them somehow gets out, even if that were to never happen? It's a whole nother layer to the abuse. It's bad enough that she did this allegedly to him, or I should say she's saying she did this to him, but to put that on video, it makes my heart break for this boy. And I can only imagine. One of the things I was thinking about when you were talking about that aspect of the story, I've worked with clients who are litigating, and one of the things that they need to do before there's a trial, before there's a plea, sometimes what happens is they're told we have this evidence, and sometimes they actually will watch if they want, especially if the parent is with them, they will watch that evidence. They'll see the videos, and that in and of itself, to have to watch yourself be abused like that. And I'm not sure in this case if this young boy has seen any of the evidence, but imagine being him or his parent, if he has a parent in the room. There's so many layers of trauma here. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is. It's really, really heartbreaking. I don't understand, and I still don't understand how a woman or a man, particularly women though, and this is something I can't wrap my head around, being a mom and a woman, becomes obsessed with a teenage boy. I'm not understanding it. He's a child, she's a teacher, she's a mom.
Yeah.
What is going on there? I mean, what is the mental deficit, defect, or what?
That's why we need to talk about these stories, because I think in the public, people don't understand, how does an adult act in such horrific ways? I don't know anything about Allison, but there's a lot of reasons why she could become obsessed with a teenager, whether it's she was abused as a child and now she's reenacting or recreating. She may have a sex addiction. She's a pedophile, right? She has this sick, warped idea of attraction with young boys. So there's a lot of explanations or reasons why. The thing that as the public we have to wrap our head around is, but how does an adult act on those feelings? It's one thing to have those feelings, but how do you do that to a child? One of the things that I'm thinking with Allison is when she's having all this disgusting sexual contact or inappropriate dialogue with him, is she even in her right mind? Is she in the present? Or is she somehow in her own dissociative state where there's a part of her brain that can't even connect to the idea, that right now you're doing something with a child, this is a crime. Like, there's a part of her, and this is what makes a predator, really. There's a part of her that can't access her consciousness, that can't say to herself, I can't be doing this. So one of the things that will happen is Allison will have to be evaluated to determine if she's a sexually violent predator, or however they say it in that particular state, to find out, is this someone that has serial like predatory like defenses that she could continue to act on, because her sentence is not, what is her sentence, 12 years? So we need to find out before she's let out of prison, is this a woman that could continue to do this? Because if that's the case, her sentence will be determined in terms of what the recommendations are going to be.
Yeah, the state is recommending a 12-year sentence. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what she will get.
Right.
I mean, the judge may deviate from that. The defense maybe the defense presents some evidence that they think is mitigating. So who knows what could happen there?
I mean, the defense is going to probably say, well, she took the plea, right? She's admitting to the crimes. They're going to go after, I would imagine, the least sentence possible. But I hope in this case, and in any case like this, that the judge doesn't just look at the fact that she admitted to her wrongdoings, whether she had no choice or maybe a part of her wanted to get caught. For her and for people like her, being sent to prison is part of the consequence. But this woman sounds like she's going to need lifelong treatment, intervention, supervision. She will be put on Megan's list, so she will be a sexual predator for the rest of her life. But once you let someone out of prison, you don't know what they're going to do. So I'm hoping that the sentence doesn't just include whatever the number of years, but mandatory, I would hope decades long therapy, supervision, intervention. Because again, like once somebody goes behind closed doors, nobody has control over what she's doing. She could abuse someone in prison.
That's very true. This happened. She's admitting to it all now. This happened between January 2024 and June of 2024. The sexual encounters happened, I guess, at a hotel, happened in other locations. She's admitting to all of this now. It sounds like they had her dead to rights. She couldn't deny any of it. And while he wasn't her direct student, she still had a supervisory role. And that's how she gained access to this student. I mean, she's admitting to all of it. I just taking a kid to a hotel, I mean, having him in her car. I mean, people at school were noticing that she was in the car with him. They reported this. The school reported this to the police. I think that's a really important part of this as well.
That's so important too, because again, she's in a supervisory role, but how did she get away with that? How did she get away with taking the student to a hotel, taking the student to her car? Like, was there any red flags? Did somebody miss anything? What we have to remember is predators are very slick and smart in the way that they groom and coerce their victims. So I'm really glad in this case that this boy came forward and that she got caught. But what we have to think about is when you have adults working with children or teenagers, we have to keep monitoring access, even in a public school setting. Things happen, right? There's offices, there's bathrooms, there's parking lots. Things happen, and the reality is that we live in a world where we live among predators. Does that mean every single female teacher is a predator? No, but if even 1 in 1,000 of these women is a predator or has predatory like behaviors, we as a society need to be paying attention. They say if you see something, say something. We need to really reinforce that message, not just at home, but in schools or any setting where you're dealing with children and teenagers.
Yeah, most definitely. There is zero reason for a kid to be in a car for an extended period of time with a teacher.
Right.
I mean, if mom and dad know teacher maybe like is giving the kid a ride home or something, fine. But, there would be, I think I can say I would never let my child be riding around in a car with his teacher.
I mean,
I can just tell you that right now.
as a parent,
Maybe it's
right?
because of what I do. But I literally cannot even remember a time ever being, I think maybe once in my school career, even as a student back in the day, I don't remember ever, maybe once getting a ride home from a teacher, maybe once ever.
I mean, I know where I live at this point, teachers, coaches, they are not allowed to drive students. It is forbidden. And again, when I was growing up, I got rides home with teachers at times. We live in a society now where we really need to be awake. We need to be paying attention. The other thing is all those text messages between him and his teacher. we also need to be aware of the fact that our teenagers have phones. And while we don't want to be hovering over our children, we have to be paying attention, right? One of the questions that I have is, when all these interactions are happening over that 6-month period of time, was he displaying, this young boy, was he displaying any behaviors or any type of change in his mood that maybe could have alerted someone, whether it was another teacher, his family? Like, what was happening for him during those 6 months? Was he thinking this is a great thing? Was he thinking this is a great thing and it's a horrible thing all at the same time? Was he feeling embarrassed? There's so many questions that I have that runs through my mind. And usually in cases like this, what happens is, once, in this case, she got caught, she admits to the crime, right? Then we hear about how this poor boy, he is struggling. He is having PTSD. He's having depression. He's probably having a number of issues. A lot of times what happens is that after the crime ends, after the perpetrator gets caught, or after the abuse ends, that's when survivors really start to unravel, because then they realize, oh my gosh, this person just abused me. So in a case like this, one of the messages, one of the lessons is that if you notice that something is weird, or you're getting a weird feeling about your kid, or you're getting a weird feeling about your kid and his interactions with his teacher, don't ignore that. Listen to what your intuition is telling you, because something might be happening.
Something may be happening. Sherry Botwin, thank you so much. Trust your gut when it comes to your kids, and boundaries are important. Teachers should not be spending a lot of time outside of school, or if any time outside of school, with kids. Thank you again, Sherry. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Allison Havemann-Niedrach will be sentenced in May. Prosecutors will ask for a 12-year sentence, and they will ask that she be supervised for life by probation and parole, and they want her to register as a sex offender under Megan's Law. We'll see what happens and keep it covered for you. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.